Come to Minnesota, where it'll snow for an hour and then it'll rain, and then the roads are garbage immediately after. People don't know how to drive. It's like it happens every year, and people are like, what's this? What's that? What's this? What is that? What is it? Welcome to the Vinyl Files, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are talking about an album that is on my Desert Island list. Albums that you could listen to over and over and over again, find new things, never get bored, always be entertained by it. And this is one of them. Today we are talking about the one, the only, Born and Raised by Sir John Mayer. In my mind, he should be knighted, and maybe someday he will be. Elton John is. He's got John in his name. Why can't John Mayer be knighted? Now, if you look at the last 5 or 6 videos that I've done on my channel, we have been really metal heavy. And while I'm an avid metal fan, I love metal, I love punk, I love rock. But for once, every once in a while, and as more come out, I'll do them too, but I want to get to singer-songwriter. I want to get to folk. And you may be asking yourself, James, your body is a wonderland, that's not folk. Well, no, it's not. John Mayer, up until this point, while I love his earlier body of work, was not a folk musician by any stretch of the imagination. It is, shall we say, department store blues. Not because it's mass produced, it's amazing. But when I worked at JCPenney, I feel like every 37 minutes, one of John Mayer's old hits would come on. I just can't wait to go to college and say you're stupid. It would just come on constantly, and I remember the songs from growing up because John Mayer hit when I started being able to form memories. But this album here is a big old fun departure. And part of that is because he got bored with that music too. He wanted to change musical directions, but he also developed some little dibblies on his throat. And I remember watching an interview with him talking about what this kind of did to his voice, and he was talking about how people want, right when he goes on stage, waiting on the world to change, which is really high, and how he was like, I would really appreciate it if I could sing some of my lower stuff first to warm up so I can get to that point. This album here, as well as Paradise Valley and things to come after, I think he hits a really sweet spot in his musical career. It's just the best. It really is just the best. Getting into some of the standout tracks here, I'm just gonna read the list of songs. We have The Queen of California, The Age of Worry, Shadow Days, Speak For Me, Something Like Olivia, Born and Raised, If I Ever Get Around to Living, Love Is a Verb, Walt Grace's Submarine Test, January 1967, Did He Live? Whiskey, Whiskey, Whiskey. It's a lot of whiskey. A Face to Call Home, and the reprisal of Born and Raised. Very rarely is a record just as it starts off perfectly and it ends just as good as it starts. This album, 11 out of 10. The best, the very best. There's a time lapse of this album cover being made, which is insane, the amount of work that went into this. And you can obviously tell by it. The detail is absurd. Taking a look on the inside, we got a nice little picture of John Mayer going into his little folky boy phase. He is now more in his Grateful Dead phase, which, hey, good on ya. And then we got lyrics on this side, and getting into the record itself, there's little dust jackets here that are, it's a faded version of the cover. This packaging is phenomenal. Beautiful 140-gram vinyl. A CD? What an outdated way to listen to music. CD. Okay, I'm gonna hop in my Pontiac Grand Prix and put it in the CD player. Now, I have a bit of a controversial statement here. John Mayer is very good. If you're a musician, and especially if you're a guitar player, you have heroes, you have idols, you have guitar gods. People like Angus Young, Jimi Hendrix, David Gilmour, Eric Clapton, to name a couple. And they are all really great people to look up to. However, a lot of guitar heroes, and not even necessarily the ones that I just named because I think they're all pretty tasteful, but a lot of modern guitarists, they lose taste. If you're super shreddy, where you play the same riff over and over again, or you use a lot of effects, or whatever it is, and that's fine, that's good for you. You found your thing that you like to do, that's great. I feel like you lose your taste. It's almost like somebody was like, hey, cook me some chicken, and you took an entire jar of salt and just dumped it on the chicken. Like, that's what it is. It's like a one-trick pony, and sometimes it's way too much. John Mayer, in my opinion, is one of the... I don't think he will be the last, but he is the most current, amazing guitar player. He is so tasteful. He serves his own songs very well. He doesn't... His guitar solos are not wanky. Like, it's not to be like, hey, look at me. He really serves the song very well. And I think that's why I love John Mayer so much. Some musicians, it's like going to a fast food restaurant. When I listen to John Mayer's music, it is the equivalent of sitting down at a 5-star restaurant. It is just so tasteful. Everything is made with love. And I can't recommend this album enough. Find it, listen to it, buy it, support him, support artists, buy an LP, buy a shirt, buy a sticker, go to a show, do what you can to support these artists to keep them around longer, because otherwise we're going to be left with just Olivia Rodrigo, and what a world that would be. I don't want to live in it. Thank you so much for watching the Vinyl Files, ladies and gentlemen. I have new videos coming out every single Saturday, so you're going to want to hit subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, tell me what records I should be checking out, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.